Hey everyone. So I just want to walk you through today's assignment a little bit. So we're going to look at vocabulary. So we're still dealing with unusual normality. So the essay that we read last week. These 4 vocabulary words were introduced to us last week. So hopefully you already have a good understanding of them. We're just going to practice a little bit deeper. We're going to go a little bit deeper than just the dictionary definition. All right. So here we have rehabilitation, counterparts, stereotype, and naive. If you aren't sure what these words mean, either you didn't do the work last week, or maybe you're looking at your feedback from last week and you're seeing that maybe you were using the words incorrectly, look them up. Go to dictionary.com or whatever online dictionary you like, or you could go old school and do an actual paper dictionary and look the words up, see what they mean. If you look them up and you're still not sure and you want to talk about it, just Google Meet with me and we can talk about it. All right, the work we're going to do today with these 4 words comes sort of in a couple of parts. So here we have 4 questions you can see, probably one for each vocabulary word, right? And it's just a 50-50 question here. So which of the following would be part of rehabilitation? So constructing something from new parts, would that be a part of rehabilitation? Or would nursing an injured animal be a part of rehabilitation? So you just click, obviously, on whichever one you think is a part of rehabilitation. Here you have a choice now. You could either just go to number 2 and then do number 3 and then do number 4 and then scroll down and do 1, 2, 3, 4. Or, and this is what I would do, but again, you do it however you want, as long as they both get done. Once I did number 1 up here, with the 50-50, multiple choice, the 2 question multiple choice, or 2 option multiple choice, I'd come down here and answer number 1 down here because it has to do with my answer up there. Explain the response for the response you provided above for rehabilitation. So let's do this first one together. Number 1, which of the following would be a part of rehabilitation? We already read the options. We know it's going to be nursing an injured animal. Right? We would be rehabilitating that animal, helping that animal to heal, right? To feel better, to be more healthy. All right, rehabilitation. Now down here it says explain the response you provided. So I've already typed something in. I would explain, why did I choose B instead of A? All right. And you want to, this is the part where you show that you really understand what the word means. Because up here, you've got a 50-50 shot of getting it right or wrong. Down here is where you show, I really do know what the word means. So I just said rehabilitation has to do with healing physically or mentally or emotionally. Nursing an injured animal is healing that animal. But if you're building something new, there's really no healing happening, right? No rehabilitation. So here's where I explained it. It's only 2 sentences. You do not have to write a book, but you might need at least a complete sentence, and you might need 2 or 3 to explain why did you choose the answer you chose. All right, and then you could move on to number 2. Which of the following are counterparts? Answer it, and then come down here to number 2 and explain why you chose either A or B. Okay. So do that 4 times for the 4 words, and then we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this vocabulary, and we're going to talk about the denotative and the connotative meanings of words. So the denotative meaning of a word is really just the dictionary definition of a word, what it literally means. The connotative meaning has to do more with emotion. And how does that word feel? Does it have a negative feeling or does it have a positive feeling? All right, and they give the example here with slender or skinny. If you say that someone is slender, right, then that usually has a positive feeling, right? You think, oh, they're probably healthy, they look nice. But if you say someone is skinny, that could have a negative connotation, right? Then that could be something, maybe they're underweight, maybe they're malnourished, maybe skinny, you're implying that it doesn't look as good as slender, right? Now, sometimes that might not be what we mean, but this is the emotion that people tie to words. even though slender and skinny basically mean the same thing. Their denotative definition is the same, thin, basically. Slender feels like a positive word, and skinny feels like a negative word, and that's their connotative meanings. Okay. All right, so these are, you just have 3 things to do here. If you need more practice, I highly recommend going here. If you click at the bottom, usually in HMH with vocabulary or grammar, there's some extra explanation and practice down here. So if you click on it, it will take you to more. Do you need to know more in order to do that assignment? Here, it is going to give you a definition of denotation. It's going to give you a definition of connotation. And here are some examples. And I think the examples are really helpful. Here's our thin, slender, and they use scrawny, right? But here's another one, look. If you use the word look, it's kind of neutral. It doesn't feel positive or negative. But we can take words that have the same sort of dictionary meaning, right? The same denotative meaning and the same denotation, and have different connotations. So gaze, for example, has a positive connotation. If you gaze longingly out at the beautiful ocean, right? That seems very positive. But if you glare at someone you're angry with, that seems very negative, right? And even though gaze means to look and glare means to look, they have the same definition. They have very different connotations, different emotions tied to them. We kind of talked about slim, thin, and scrawny or skinny, right? And here's another one, active. So active is just sort of a neutral word. We don't really feel positive or negative about it. But if you say playful, which means about the same as active, very playful, that seems positive, right? If the puppies are in the backyard running around and chasing a ball, they're being very active, right? They're all being very playful. Playful, that seems positive. But if we say the puppies are being rowdy, that feels negative. Now we worry, is someone going to get hurt? Are they doing something naughty? Right? So, and again, connotation is the emotions that we tie to words. If you scroll down, you can do these. These are very easy well, I mean easy in that you don't have to write anything. It's just a drop-down menu. There's 5 little practices here if you want to. So vicious is blank than dangerous. So we're talking about the connotation of words. Is vicious more positive than dangerous? Or is vicious more negative than dangerous? Right? And you can kind of check it. All right, so you could practice that. And then the assignment, so I just clicked back to this assignment, remember, with rehabilitation, counterparts, right, this that we did. So I'm back on this page. Here's these 3 at the bottom. Remember we were here? All right, now we're here. These 3 at the bottom, write the denotative or the denotative, sorry, the denotative and the connotative meanings of the bold-faced words. So we have tattered and we have torn. So the man wore tattered clothes to the mall, right? I would say tattered means torn, right? Tattered and torn, they mean the same thing. But tattered feels negative, right? It feels sort of like worn out. I imagine things that are tattered are dirty, old, yucky, right? Whereas torn feels neutral to me. If something's torn, I mean, I might be disappointed that it's torn, but it might be something I wanted to tear. Who knows? You tear open a birthday present. Torn feels kind of neutral. It can be positive or negative, right? So I'm talking about tattered and torn mean the same thing, but then I go on to talk a little bit about their connotation. So their denotation is the same, but their connotation, tattered is negative. And there's only 3 of these. All right, and we scroll down because remember we don't go left or right. So we scroll down, there's nothing left to do down here. So we are going to go back to our assignments page and mark this vocabulary assignment done. Mark it, I'm done. And that's your assignment for today. If you have any questions or concerns, you know how to get hold of me, and have a great day.